Warming up the boat this morning a little bit. I was supposed to be out of here before it got cold like this. What the heck? That warms it up so fast in here. Should get going pretty good here. Good morning. And it is an early morning today. I am on MIG while everybody else sleeps because this is real time actually. I am getting ready to take the family out to Montana to visit my mom and my brothers for Thanksgiving. So it's Tuesday morning right now, and we're gonna leave. Well, plan was to leave tonight, so I like driving through the night. But anyway, we're not going to be here Friday, so I'm not going to have a video on Friday for you guys. I didn't put one together for this week yet. Just been really busy. So anyway, sorry, can't put out a regular video this week, but I am putting this one out, and it's another story video. Last night was family night again, and I asked the kids, hey, what should I tell? What story should I tell? And so I got to take care of the stove again so it doesn't overheat here. It's going good now. Look at that. So I'm going to close this off, and I'm going to drop this down and close the flue. Hopefully that won't kill it completely. Let's raise this up just a bit down here. I asked them what story I should tell this week, and they said, tell the shark story with Jimmy. So this is a shark story, and it is about the very biggest shark that I have personally ever seen in person, not at a water park or a water park. Can you imagine that? That would make the slides much more exciting. Actually, in Atlantis, in the Bahamas, they have a slide that goes underneath the shark tank, and the sharks swim over you as you go under it. But anyway, no, this was offshore. So it was the last delivery that Jimmy was able to do when he was, I think he was 16 or 17. He was moving back to Wyoming for school to finish up high school and get his diploma. So he was going to live with my parents, and he was flying. The delivery was from St. Thomas to Key West, Florida, on a little older Jeanneau sailboat with no autopilot. Great little boat for sailing, for coastal sailing and whatnot. Man, they handle really great. They're just really an enjoyable boat to actually sail. However, they're really not built for offshore, and had we been going the other way against the wind, I would not have done that delivery on that boat. But I would certainly not tell somebody that they shouldn't get one for what it's made for. It's not made, in my opinion, for crossing oceans. But this trip was nice. It was downwind. And my friend Richard Cave was my crew, and Jimmy, the three of us, and we had to hand steer. Richard and I had delivered quite a few boats together at this point. Well, a few boats anyway, including his own. And Richard and I are really good friends. It's always fun to have him. And I guarantee you, at some point, Richard's going to be on one of these trips on MIG. Guarantee it. He's already been a big part of MIG. He and Shanoa and the kids met us in Bodega Bay. Richard and I, he's one of those guys that offshore, it's very comfortable. You know that he's got things well in hand, and so you can sleep when you go down below and not worry about the boat. Richard and Shanoa are also the family that now has Wandering Dolphin, and they're going to refit Wandering Dolphin, hopefully, and sail it with their kids, which makes me very excited. Anyway, this trip, this is a shark story. So what happened was we were just east of the Gulf Stream, probably just past Hispaniola. We had been rudely awakened at 2 a.m. by the Coast Guard. They had lit us up like a Christmas tree at 2 a.m. because they thought we were smuggling Haitians to the U.S., I guess, or something. But we were kind of tired. The wind died. The boat was just wallowing around out there. Actually, it wasn't even wallowing. We had the sails up because the sails, they dampen the movement of the ocean, when the boat's moving back and forth. They kind of dampen that motion a little bit. But they make a lot of noise and they chafe. But in this case, there wasn't even enough of a swell to make the boat move back and forth. It was like a mirror. And so Richard and I decided, hey, we're going swimming. It was hot, so hot. And we thought, man, we got to cool off. So I think, Richard decided first that he was going to jump in the water, because I really do not do that very often. I can count on one hand how many times offshore I've jumped in the water on calm days. And so he and I started jumping off the bow and swimming to the stern and laughing and having a good time, and Jimmy would not do it. Now, a disclaimer. I need to let you know that it isn't because my kids are wimps that they don't swim in the water offshore. It's because we moved onto the boat when they were very small children, and I wanted to instill in them a fear of the water when we were offshore, because they had no fear of the water when we were anchored, because they swam like fish. They swam and played in the water for hours around the boat when we were anchored out. In 30 feet of water, it was home to them. And I wanted them to understand that there's a difference when you're offshore, that if you get in the water offshore, you're dead, essentially. That's what I wanted them to understand. So I told them, I'm gonna get some grief maybe. I told them the water was acid offshore. Now, I was not meaning that literally. I didn't realize that they were going to think it actually turned into acid when you got offshore. I think I said, you need to act as though the water is acid. If you fall in the water offshore, you'll die. And I was very specific. And I don't apologize for it, actually. I do. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I should have been much clearer, and I should have just been honest with them and said, look, this is exactly what will happen if you fall off the boat offshore. But, I mean, Benny was only 4 years old, so, and Caleb was, I think, 5, and Canyon was almost 7. They were little. And so, and Jimmy wasn't. He was 11, but still, this fear of water offshore, I instilled it in them. It's my fault. Jimmy wouldn't jump in the water on this delivery. And Richard and I, when we were done swimming, we got into the cockpit and we were like, come on, Jimmy, you need to cool off. You stink. You need to take a bath. Jump in the water. And then we began to really kind of harass him about it. I know I sound like a great dad, don't I? We were like, come on, you wimp. You're being a wimp. Jump in the water. This is your last chance. And finally, we harangued him enough that he went to the stern, jumped into the water, leaped out of it almost immediately, and then he began to soap up on the transom. It had a little sugar scoop. He was standing there, and he began to soap up. And we were like, yeah, see, it felt so much better. And he's going, yeah, it did. I feel much better now, and thanks a lot, guys. And so he's scrubbing his hair, and he had soap in his eyes, and he wipes the soap out of his eyes because he's going to jump into the water to rinse off. And suddenly he leaps over the stern pulpit into the cockpit, screaming like he's on fire, and pointing in the water and yelling at us, there, that's why you don't swim in the water offshore, right there, that's why. and Richard and I jump up. I mean, we're like, what happened? What, did he get stung by a jellyfish or something? And we look over, and I'm not exaggerating. It was the biggest shark I've ever seen. It had to have been at least 10 feet long. I'm not exaggerating, people. Seriously. It was huge. And I don't know if it was a white shark or a bull shark or what. We did get a good look at it. Richard, comment. What do you think? What kind of shark do you think it was? Anyway, and Richard, didn't you have some video of this? If you have video of this, send it to me so I can make another quick little 5-minute short with this shark in it for these people to watch. Anyway, Jimmy was beside himself. And so the owners of this little boat had given us some MREs as emergency food. And I'll tell you what, I'd rather starve, I think, than eat MREs. They were terrible. So we decided we're going to feed one of the Salisbury steak MREs to this shark. And so we rip open the MRE and we take the Salisbury steak out. And I'm not kidding, folks. The shark was hanging out at the transom. Like, we could see its eye as it looked at us. And it would swim around in circles right off the transom like it was waiting for its lunch to jump right into its mouth. Which it had been watching and thought, oh, hey, dinner time. That soapy boy is gonna taste yummy. And so we throw the Salisbury steak right in front of the shark. It swims up to the Salisbury steak and takes it in its mouth and spits it out. Even the sharks won't eat the food that we feed to our fighting men. Just a little note there. Even the shark won't eat the MRE Salisbury steak. So that's a little story about offshore and a shark. Yeah, I know it's short, but this week I'm not doing a video because I'm heading to Montana to visit my family. So I thought I would at least get this one out and let you know. Also, I'm thinking about, I've got 400 subscribers now. Thank you so much to all of you that watch these videos. I know all 400 subscribers don't watch the videos, but those of you that do and comment, and you all, like, I actually have talked to several of you on the phone and tried to help you with your dream of sailing away. And if I can do that, it makes me super happy. I enjoy the sailing and cruising lifestyle so much. I'm happy to share, happy to let you guys encourage you. You encourage me by watching these videos and commenting and liking the videos. And if I can help you in some way to achieve your dream, even a dream for a family, if there's anything I can do, then I'm happy to do that. And I appreciate all of you. I'm thinking of going ahead and kicking off my Patreon page here this next week. I know it's a little early. I've only got 400 subscribers. I'm not even monetized on YouTube. But I do want to sail this boat around the world, and I want to leave this spring. And at this point, I've still got some things that I need to purchase. And this time of year, it's, of course, for everybody, it's tough to come up with enough money to do just the basic things we need to in life, much less dump more money into MIG. So I am going to put up a Patreon, and if anybody wants to contribute, that sure makes me happy, and it would certainly help. Anything would help. I'll probably put an Amazon wish list up as well. I've got some things that I need to get off of Amazon that aren't very expensive, some that are a little more expensive than others. Like I need some pony tanks. I can't take a full-size scuba tank with me, but I am bringing my BC and all of that stuff, and I'm going to get 2 little pony tanks that I can store right up here on either side. So if I have to jump in the water again to fix something under the boat offshore, at least I can put on my tanks. And of course, for other reasons, when I'm anchored out, it'd be good to have a couple of tanks, since I already have the BC and I'm a certified diver. So, yeah, I'm going to get that going this next week. I really appreciate all of you and everything that you've done as far as encouragement for me, and And I've been encouraged by a couple of you to go ahead and start the Patreon. So I'm going to do that. You guys, I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I will be back with a regular video the week after Thanksgiving. I'll do another one of my refit videos. Maybe I'll do the one where I make this insert in here for the salon area. I made an insert that is pretty cool. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Together we'll